Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I'm going to report two different stories in the same town, in the same county, which is Jefferson County, Louisiana, of two deputy-involved shootings that happened and was unreported. One case is from Modesto Reyes, and another case, a 14-year-old boy named Tre'mall McGhee. Now, these two cases are both unreported. Now, you're going to hear both the attorneys, the family attorneys for both Modesto Reyes and Tre'mall McGhee, and the sheriff himself is going to have a press conference. It's going to have their different version of it. But I want you guys to watch this very carefully, because there are some discrepancies that's happening, and it's going to blow your mind. Because the sheriff will tell you one thing, but the family attorneys and the independent autopsy will tell you something else. So I'm going to go ahead and play it, and I'm going to continue the rest of my commentary.
We need better transparency and accountability from our law enforcement officials.
We can't allow false narratives from civil attorneys to continue to rule the day. That's what it is.
Attorneys for the Modesto Reyes and 14-year-old Tre'mall McGhee families addressed reporters demanding the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office come forward with information regarding each case. And Sheriff Joe Lopinto called his own news conference shortly afterwards. Good evening, everyone. I'm Katie Moore.
And I'm Karen Swenson. Reporter Mike McDaniel has been breaking stories on both of these deputy-involved shootings in recent weeks. And tonight he takes a closer look at what the families and the sheriff have to say.
We need better transparency and accountability.
At a news conference Tuesday morning, attorneys representing the families of Modesto Reyes and Tre'mall McGhee pointed fingers at the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office for what they say is a lack of transparency regarding two deputy-involved shootings, one of them deadly.
What we know about the Jefferson Parish Sheriff's Office is it is infected, corrupted, and does not hold its deputies accountable.
35-year-old Modesto Reyes was shot and killed last month after Sheriff Joe Lopinto says he ran from a traffic stop, tripped and fell, then pointed a gun at deputies. 14-year-old Tre'mall McGhee was shot back in March after fleeing with several others from a stolen car they were riding around in. Lopinto strongly denies his office is hiding anything. In both cases, Lopinto says if he finds evidence his deputies did anything wrong, he'll have no trouble holding them accountable.
I am not afraid of putting one of my deputies in jail. I've been sheriff for 3 years, and I've had to do it before in the past.
In the case of Reyes, Lopinto says he believes his deputies' account of what happened because evidence backs it up. Some of that evidence is a short video from a taser shown to media outlets, including WWL, which shows a man face down on the ground before turning over with what appears to be a gun in each hand. The Reyes family hasn't seen that video. The family did have an independent autopsy done, which shows Reyes was shot twice in the back. But Lopinto says that's not the whole story.
He was rolling over at the time. He was shot twice in the back and twice in the front. They didn't tell you that at the autopsy.
According to the autopsy, those front shots were to the arm and leg.
I understand the family lost a loved one, and I feel sorry for them. And I know some of them are looking for answers. But I have an obligation to this community as a whole.
In the case of Tre'mall McGhee, Sheriff Lopinto says state law protecting juveniles prevents him from talking about the case, but does confirm McGhee was unarmed and shot by a deputy. Family members say he was shot while on the ground, complying with officers.
You should not be able to give the same cop speak that, listen, our officers did the right thing without explanation, especially when you have shot an unarmed child in the back.
Anytime it looks good for them, they're happy to talk about juvenile suspects in the media. When it doesn't, they try to hide it. They try to hide their officers' misconduct.
If the kid wants to say that our deputy did something wrong, come in and give a statement and say that. The kid was in the backyard. He knows what happened.
Defending his department, Lopinto says evidence in both cases must be protected, which is why none of it has been made public. Mike McDaniel, Eyewitness News.
So far, no lawsuits have been filed in either case, but attorneys do expect them to be filed.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, there you have it. I'm going to say it to the sheriff real quick, because he felt that he wants to protect these officers of both cases. Let's start out with the 14-year-old Tre'mall McGhee case, for example. They knew that child was unarmed. And then according to the family attorneys, they said that basically he was complying with the officers and they shot him anyway. And luckily, he's still alive. But you hear what they said, right? They said that because he is his age, he cannot talk to the media or have any press conference. And it shows you how corrupt, this just shows you how corrupt these officers are, right? But when it comes to Modesto Reyes case, now remember, they said that he has 2 guns in his possession. And then they said that when he ran away, they shot, in an independent autopsy, they shot the brother twice in the back, killed him, right? But in both cases, it was unreported. If the sheriff said they had nothing to hide, why they didn't come to them reporting about both these cases? See, ladies and gentlemen, this is what I'm talking about. That these officers will lie, will hide evidence, will hide the truth until everything comes out. Like that 14-year-old boy, Tre'mall McGhee, for example, this young kid shouldn't have been shot. If he was complying with officers and everything, and he was unarmed, why did the officers shot him? But it shows you, ladies and gentlemen, that they don't care. They don't care if he's a teenager or a grown man. And like I said, with this Modesto Reyes case, the autopsy report said he was shot twice in the back. And the sheriff still going to defend the officer and say, well, that's not the entire story. Well, show us proof that what really happened. And you notice that they saw the gun. They say he had 2 guns in his possession. Where are the evidence they had guns in his possession? So you see, they are covering up what happened. And the sheriff and you heard what the sheriff said. Well, if I find out that one of my deputies did nothing wrong, I would have no problems arresting them. Well, basically, they did something wrong, and you still protected them. So you see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why I said that. This is why these attorneys are out there. They're telling the media what's really going on. And regardless, the media is going to side with the officers anyway. But this happened in Jefferson County, Louisiana. They're gonna believe what the officers are saying. Again, this is not the first time that these Jefferson County sheriff's office have been involved in deputy involved shootings. They did that previously before. Was also unreported. So, ladies and gentlemen, tell me what you think about this. I hope these families will get justice for both cases. And this goes to show you, ladies and gentlemen, that the sheriff will do anything to protect those officers, even though they were in the wrong. They would do anything to protect them, and they're gonna try to say, well, if my deputies did anything wrong, I will handle it. I will have no problems, held them accountable. But yet y'all still protected these guys. And then there are incidents before these 2 that happened as well, but they still protected them. Y'all let me know what you think about this. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.